I got a big one here from Masters of the Universe Origins. Gonna open up the Sky Sled with Prince Adam included. First big vehicle for me of this line. I mean big, I mean not huge or anything, but it's definitely got a lot more going on than probably the original release had, so we'll check out some of the features here, and we'll talk about Prince Adam as a figure as well. We got some of the people here that know Prince Adam's secret, that he's actually He-Man. Unfortunately, no Sorceress figure yet. Really wanting her in her blue and orange and white costume, so hopefully we'll see her down the line. Maybe Cringer too, just to say. Just like my shirt. But there was no Cringer in the original line, so I'm not sure if they're gonna do characters and things they did not do in the original line. I'm not sure what their criteria is. I was also going to show on the box, we're showing Wind Raider here, so I'm sure that's coming. I don't know about the Eternian Guards here, definitely a different design. But also a Roton, so that's not announced yet, I don't think. But it's hard to tell if some of the box art is alluding to future things coming or not. I'm not sure what's wrong with this Beastman-ish looking dude. I don't know who that is. Or this bro. So I don't know if that's alluding to future stuff or if that's just strictly art. All right, here this tab has the artist signature on there. Of course, this is just of the first wave, so their first experiment with a vehicle is this piece, and frankly, I could not find it anywhere hardly, so could be a good sign for future vehicles, that that's selling out. I had to order this when it appeared. Vote now! Which one do you want me to pull out first? Boop, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. Votes tabulated. It's the sled. The Sky Sled. Limited edition dirt! Nice, really clear stand. Clicky. Aha. So it looks like we got a blast effect here. Lego. Doesn't look to be a missile, it's just an effect. We have different side plates for the side. Here it comes with there, so we didn't have to apply the stickers ourselves, which I'm a little grateful for, I suppose. Not that I even really like stickers on things, but I guess the idea is that with this kind of bird-like head and this dragon side plate, but it's the good guy Sky Sled. I guess in the show, I think you can see the different heads depending on who's flying it, so that is pretty cool. But it's kind of a double good guy, bad guy thing. Which means you'd have to kind of buy two, really. Although if you're just playing around, I suppose. Not sure how to get these out of here. Ah, here's a little hold spot. Here's pop out, and you can put in the, I guess the weird pterodactyl Ridley from Metroid red dragony dude is the bad guy plate. So the snaky head is the bad guy head to put in. The green alligator-like dragon with the bird head is the good guy one. Fairly simple, everyone. I don't know who came up with this. I'm pretty sure the original just came like this, which the original even wasn't just this piece. The original was that whole battle ram vehicle. So actually this is only half of a vehicle, and there would be another bigger part with wheels that attaches back here and would launch this one out like somebody could take off. I don't think there was alternate versions of that one to do the good guy bad guy head, so this seems like strictly a cartoon or maybe comic book switch device kind of thing to tell them apart. Funny that they would go to the proper store, buy the correct one. Here's just the cannon in the front, has this piece for a blast effect if they're shooting or not. Doesn't shoot out or anything like a missile. So I kind of wondered if we would eventually get the rest of the vehicle, but there doesn't seem to be any mechanisms here that would attach or offer that. It apparently doesn't match up with the original one at all, that you couldn't just buy the old vehicle and lock it in place. It's a different shape and size than the original one, so it's not just a straight remold of the old one. This is like a new design, probably to have these switch out plates and heads and things. I don't know. I don't think we'll get the other part of the vehicle, which is kind of weird because this and that part, that battle ram, was the first vehicle in the Masters of the Universe line, so it was pretty significant, but all they released is this piece with the Prince Adam figure. So I'm sure it was some sort of price point kind of thing, that if they just had the vehicle, they didn't think it would be as successful as one with a pack-in figure, but to do it all, it was too much. I mean, it is a $30 thing, which if you think about it, it's only the price of two normal figures, you know. So it's not too badly priced, honestly, for this vehicle costing that of a figure. Plus, there's all these other pieces and things that it can do. There's a stand and everything, and the switch out parts. So it's not too badly priced. We have the hole at the bottom here for the stand. And as I showed, it's very like solid and click into place kind of thing. We kind of have a sandy desert or rocky sand stand here, and this just locks down into here. Very solid. And so it's a pretty nice little display there. And you can't really call this stand a play feature by any means. It's definitely for a collector. You can kind of, that way it does hold its place if you want them taking off or coming down. And I would assume you want it this way than the other way, but I think it just spins around, but I think it would be a little heavy this way. Nothing underneath it. This seems to be more support forward. So yeah, pretty cool that you can just switch and use the bad guy version, but it makes me think maybe we'll get another one released with these parts still, but maybe another figure. Like a bad guy, so in the box it's got these. I don't know if I would really buy another one just to do that, have the bad guy version, but it feels like kind of a waste to have these parts when I won't really be doing that. Unless I get enough hero vehicles that maybe this one just gets converted to the bad guy one. You can kind of use it as a, since it can switch, it can kind of balance the sides there if you get too many heroic vehicles. Yeah, it's really nice. It's big thing, got the handle and everything. Just clearly made for the collector, I would say, with the stand and things, and where it's not got like a firing missile or anything crazy. They're leaning towards collector line. But we need to talk about the pack-in figure here. Yeah! White shirt hid the strap. So we do have whoosh, Prince Adam. He was a very late addition to the original line, just because it is kind of it's like a Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent figure. Like, who would you rather have, you know, figure of the superhero version of them or their alter ego? But for me, I always kind of wanted Prince Adam just because he is this cool dude. He has freaking amazing fashion sense as well. Of course, the original line, he had a cloth shirt. So I actually like that this is just a plastic mold on here. I think it actually has a tab, maybe? It might just be molded to stay in place, actually. It's not really meant to be removed, but you can tell underneath he just has the normal muscle body with just all white, although you can kind of take a peek on here and see he has the black belt piece. They left the cuff mold on, which is kind of weird. I think they could have just done one without that, maybe, since I don't think he really had those gauntlets in any comic or cartoon like that as Prince Adam. He has two holding hands, or holding accessories. The He-Man we can compare to. One of his is the open hand, that's kind of for his shield, because it kind of locks in place there, but I think the shield might pretty much fit in the holding hands too, but I'm pretty sure the hands are swappable, so if you're getting these, you can kind of have a He-Man that has a holding hand on that other side there, and they just pop right out and pop right back in. So that's kind of useful depending on what you want to do. Or He-Man and Prince Adam. I don't know if it's just an illusion, but I feel like my Prince Adam looks angrier than my He-Man. I don't know. Seems a little odd. It's just always funny that Prince Adam is just as huge as He-Man. I kind of like that in the 2002 cartoon, that he was smaller, and then when he transformed he got bigger as He-Man, but the original he's just as huge. It's kind of funny. Probably a great choice for a pack-in with a vehicle. The Prince Adam's just kind of an extra figure that you would maybe not normally release as a single figure. As far as sales, again, you know, how many Bruce Wayne figures are you going to sell versus Batman? It's just the way it is. I always liked Prince Adam's costume. Always looked really cool for me for some reason. The color combo and everything. And of course you have the famous animation where it's mostly using Prince Adam singing the song. So I don't know, I feel like that kind of helped with the popularity in a sense. But here I just wanted to show He-Man's sword, which should just be Prince Adam's sword because it's the same. Just note that versus he comes with his pink sword, which again I don't quite understand the point, but it's finished on both sides. Here we got a half handle versus a full handle, so they did a full mold for Prince Adam's sword here. I feel like they probably, I mean, first of all, he can barely hold it because his hand is meant for the other one, so kind of odd. He's got nowhere to really put it. You could kind of tuck it into his shirt, but I'm unarmed? No. So I feel like they really should have just had him come with He-Man's sword, but reverse, like Skeletor's sword, but the gray thing, so that you could combine them and make one thick gray color power sword. That's what I would have. I get the original came with a pink sword, but it's kind of like, what is the point of this? Because this is very much not like, I don't think comics even really had him, oh, my sword's pink, and then when I transform into He-Man, it turns into silvery metal. Like, really? I don't think so. So it's a cool sword that they did a full layer. You can kind of see the crease in it, that it's two halves in that way. And no guard on the handle either. Oh, maybe I can just get some silver spray paint and get a good power sword out of this. I don't know. I don't have too much nostalgia for the old line because I never got to have the old line, so the pink sword gesture I get, you know, kind of like throwback to that, but I don't really care too much about that. I'm mostly collecting these to represent the cartoon that I would have kind of been playing with them as if I had them. By gosh, let's see how somebody rides this puppy. Oh, okay, so we got foot pegs here on the spot for the feet, so that will help them stay in place. Good. I guess my problem is these handles seem very thick for the hands. I don't really like stretching out the hands in this way like that, but here's where that kind of click feature come in handy, kind of point him down, because they really seem laid back on these Sky Sleds here, so this kind of makes them look more upright, and it still looks fairly natural in a flight thing, but this way he's like getting a little lazy there laying back, because this is, you know, the foot peg is in, the hand is on the handle, so this is how he's supposed to sit, but I feel like I would be sitting up a little more, flying through the air on a freaking jet ski with no back on it. But you know, I'm not from Eternia, so maybe I'm just a weenie like that. Where is the seatbelt on this thing? A little public service announcement for seatbelt safety with this thing. Actually, pretty impressive base that it's, most of the weight is back here now and it's staying up just fine. So this is like a really solid stand, and the function of holding it in place like that, but I mean, it seems a little awkward. I think maybe that's kind of how they looked in the cartoon, kind of lean back weird, but I might do one click forward just so the figure is more upright and you're still seeing the vehicle here. I've also seen unfortunate screenshots on sites that show Prince Adam coming with Man-at-Arms Club. He definitely does not come with that here. It's just a picture, kind of a poor choice for promotional various websites, so watch out for that. It does not come with that club. You know, Prince Adam's kind of a bad boy. You know, he puts one of the bad guy's things in. He'll put the bad guy head or the bad guy plates on and just keep one good guy one. So it's like, you don't know which side he's on, man. He's like a rebel without a cause. Hi, I'm Prince Adam. Okay, well, he probably wouldn't do that, but that is a pretty funky feature with the switching. It's pretty cool, though. Again, it might help kind of even the odds if you end up with more good guy vehicles or something. I do want the Wind Raider for sure, because that's another one that's definitely on the show. Some of the vehicles I probably won't go for just because they're very much not like the show. Like maybe an attack track isn't quite exactly how they are in the show. In the show it's more like a van, and it's more an open vehicle in the toy line if they copy that original toy line. So this is like an awesome combination, I think, just for genius of having him come with Prince Adam that might not have sold that well as just a single figure, and you're getting this kind of vehicle piece that might not have sold on its own also, but a collector that would want, you know, one or the other can get both right there, and it's a pretty good deal. The only thing is I really need a Cringer for Prince Adam. I don't know if that's fiscally possible because he'd have to be maybe a little smaller than that Battle Cat, but then you definitely need a new face for Cringer to go with Prince Adam. Prince Adam Cringer. Make it happen. You'd have Cringer come with the king or the queen or something like that, another character that people might want, but maybe won't sell very well as a single character. I don't know what I would do if I released a bad guy with the Sky Sled again, just to display it with the pieces. I can't think of a villain that would just have that other than, you know, Stinkor famously damaging the line slightly. Everybody just kind of blames Stinkor, but he's already going to get a single release anyway, so it's not going to be him. It'd have to be maybe some kind of alternate version of one of the other villains. But it's pretty cool stand. Good features for swapping. You got the effect blast. You can change 3 parts into different designs. You could just mix and match this thing or do the themes that it says. This is the bad guy set and this is the good guy set. A figure. Obviously this is an all-new tunic kind of piece for Prince Adam. A complete power sword, although it is pink. But I think there might be some potential there. I might just do a little custom work on it. I don't know. We'll see. Might want to just keep the old pink sword because it is kind of cool, but what I'm trying to do here is more collect based off of the cartoon, even though a lot of the appearances aren't super like the actual show, but they did change up Man-at-Arms to be more like the show than the original. But I think maybe I have a little bit on my side in that quest. Awesome piece. Glad I could finally get it for retail price. Wasn't going to overpay for it. Never overpay for any of your collectibles. That's my little moral to teach you. There'll always be another time to get a hold of it. So have patience. If you want to see me open all my Masters of the Universe Origin stuff, I'm opening it here. There'll be a playlist here. It starts with my story about how I never had them as a kid and why this toy line is going to be super awesome for me to keep getting figures of. And I open every single one I get right there on that playlist. So stay tuned, stay subscribed so you can see them all. And I post all my other collectings and things here as well. So you might want to just subscribe and stick around. In fact, I think you do.